Rafizi convicted under OSA. Jamal now says he was not hit by cops. I'm Suhaila Saifudin. This is Cuppa News. For breaking the Official Secrets Act by exposing the 1MDB audit report, PKR lawmaker Rafizi Ramli was slapped with an 18-month jail sentence by the KL Sessions Court. The PKR Vice President and Pandan MP was charged with possessing page 98 of the 1MDB audit report without approval, and the court said this violated the Act. He allegedly committed the offence at the Parliament lobby on March 24th. He was also found guilty for disclosing the classified document without authorization on March 28th. With the judgment, he said he would have to cut short his tour of constituencies leading up to the next general election.
The verdict is not at all unexpected. I mean, I would have had a shock of my life if I'm acquitted today. So it's as expected. I mean, for every cause, there is a reaction, and my reaction is that whatever that I plan to do in the next 10, 12 months now have to be compressed in 3-4 months. Because of that, I've planned a nation tour going from state to state, focusing on marginal seats beginning tomorrow night in Pandan.
Rafizi's legal team said he would remain a MP pending the exhaustion from the appeal process. Meanwhile, outside the Parliament, PKR Deputy President Datuk Seri Muhammad Azmin Ali said Rafizi's conviction is not the final judgment, as he still has a chance to appeal at the Court of Appeal.
Saya yakin Yang Muhammad Rafizi dan peguam telah pun mengemukakan hujah dan bukti-bukti yang cukup jelas di mana apa yang berlaku itu bukan dengan tujuan untuk mendedahkan isu keselamatan negara, tetapi ini isu pengurusan keuangan yang boleh menjejaskan ekonomi negara.
The Star TV's video of Datuk Seri Jamal Yunos squealing "Polis tumbuk saya" yesterday has gone viral. Well, the Red Shirts leader now claims he was actually telling the police that he had been hit by one of the birthday supporters.
Saya memberi respon yang tersebar luas di dalam media sosial daripada semalam yang mengatakan saya menjerit polis pukul saya. Ya, ketiga itu berlaku pergelutan. Bukan saya sebut polis pukul saya. Saya memberitahu kepada polis bahawa saya dipukul. Sebab itu saya meminta laluan kepada polis. Saya nak kejar siapa yang tumbuk curi daripada belakang sehingga saya berdarah. Itu maksud saya.
Jamal suffered a bleeding nose during the fight at the shopping centre in Selangor and later lodged a police report. He turned up at the Pandan Indah police station to have his statement recorded over the fracas. 2 Red Shirt supporters had been arrested and remanded until Wednesday for obstructing the police from discharging their duty. Jamal and his Red Shirts group were in Ampang following Bersih during their convoy to promote the Bersih 5 rally. Meanwhile, Ampang MP Zuraida Kamarudin said in her tweet that she would lodge a police report tomorrow over Jamal's report. She also said she would sue Jamal for making the so-called fake report and take legal action against him based on the evidence out there.
Kita akan beri beliau 44 jam, dalam masa 48 jam untuk memberi jawab kepada surat ni. Peguam saya sudah fax ke pejabat beliau surat ini tadi sebelum tengah hari tadi. Sebab tu hari ini, lepas tu saya buat statement ini ya. So sehubungan dengan itu, besok saya akan buat laporan polis di IPD Ampang mengenai ugutan beliau yang mengancam keselamatan kita, iaitu hendak mencincang lah, nak ambil darah lah dan sebagainya.
Jamal and his Red Shirts troop pursued Zuraida and her Bersih supporters throughout her constituency on Sunday, mocking them as a LGBT group. PAS has denied claims by UMNO Northern opposition stalwart Tun Dr. Mahathir Mohamad that the Islamist Party is reluctant of joining Pakatan Harapan as it supports BN.
Kita tak sokong bukan bulat-bulat. Bukan 100%. Ya.
PAS President Datuk Seri Abdul Hadi Awang denied Dr. Mahathir's claim when met at the Parliament building, but he said that PAS supports certain ideologies of UMNO. Asked whether what Dr. Mahathir said was fair, Abdul Hadi said that is up to him. PAS Youth Chief Nik Muhammad Abduh Nik Aziz said PAS still had doubts about joining forces with Dr. Mahathir's Parti Pribumi Bersatu as it was unsure of Pribumi's seriousness in working with PAS.
Kita yakin bahawa kita akan dapat undi daripada rakyat Malaysia. Kita sentiasa yakin dengan diri kita, PAS, tetapi kita terbuka kalau ada pihak yang nak bekerjasama dengan kita.
Termasuk PBM dan Pakatan Harapan.
Jangan sebut Pakatan Harapan.
On disunity among the opposition parties, Sempurna MP and Parti Warisan Sabah President Datuk Seri Muhammad Shafiee Abdal said what matters more is the unity of the people to make a change in Malaysia.
No, I'm not saying that we're standing on our own, but I said that, we have the same kind of intentions, which is to topple BN government. How do you know it's difficult to topple government? So was Donald Trump. Donald Trump was not supported by Republican, neither the speaker supported him. But you can imagine what wonders the people unity can do. If people's unity is realized, that is power.
The Straits Times of Singapore reported that leaders of 12 countries will meet on the sidelines of the APEC summit in Peru this week to discuss a way forward for the Trans-Pacific Partnership or TPP in the wake of United States election. Asia-Pacific Economic Cooperation Secretariat Executive Director Dr. Alan Bollard said the participating nations still have time to decide on the next course of action as there is no deadline for ratification even though it cannot be implemented without the US. The TPP is a landmark trade deal signed by 12 nations, but US President-elect Donald Trump's takeover from Barack Obama has cast doubts on whether the new president and other Republican lawmakers would call off the pact. Malaysian International Trade and Industry Minister Datuk Seri Mustafa Mohamad had said last week that Malaysia would not waver from its stand as TPP would bring benefits to the country as a whole. In other news, Penang Police busted a drug distribution syndicate with the arrest of 5 men seizing various types of drugs worth 410,000 ringgit. The first suspect in the network was arrested at a food court car park in Bandar Baru Air Itam, followed by the arrest of the remaining 4 men at a condominium in Bukit Jelutong last Thursday. One of them was a supplier of the drugs for the first suspect. An especially powerful high tide battered the shores of Kampung Segenting near Batu Pahat, Johor this morning. The strong current caused water to spill over the Toa Pek Kong temple and roads in the village. Around the same time, heavy downpour wreaked havoc in Johor Bahru and Pontian. However, the Johor Civil Defence Department said its personnel had been stationed at various locations in anticipation of any high tide caused by the unexpected supermoon phenomenon tonight. As next year's deadline for the privatisation of football clubs in Malaysia League looms, the company which runs the league said that the quota of 4 imported players imposed by the Asian Football Confederation will be used as Malaysia's yardstick.
Salah satu target kita ialah untuk ada pasukan-pasukan yang dapat bertanding di dalam Asian Champions League secara merit. Kita hendak pasukan kita kompetitif di dalam Champions League. Jadi kalau kota import kita di dalam liga dan di dalam pertandingan Asia tu berbeza, makna struktur pasukan yang bermain di dalam liga dan struktur pasukan yang bermain di dalam Champions League tu mungkin berbeza. Saya rasa AFC sekarang ni buat masa ni masih 3-1. Masih sama dengan liga kita. So kita akan cuma melihat kepada perubahan jika ada perubahan di belah AFC.
In world news, Indonesian police have arrested 5 people in connection with a suspected militant attack on a church that killed 1 toddler and injured 3. Police said they were investigating possible links to the Islamic State extremist group.
Ada beberapa saksi-saksi kita periksa. Kita kan punya waktu 7 hari untuk mencari bukti-bukti sehingga Apakah tersangkanya nanti bisa bertambah atau tidak, tergantung hasil pemeriksaan dan bukti-bukti yang kita dapatkan. Hari ini kita lanjutkan pengolahan TKP.
The suspect, who was arrested shortly after the attack, had been imprisoned on terrorism charges in the past and had links to existing radical networks. An earthquake with a magnitude of 7.8 rattled New Zealand's South Island on Monday, which killed at least 2 people and set off hundreds of aftershocks.
Caravan started shaking, and we wake up with a big fright, what's going on? Look outside, see the cars moving around, the caravan's moving.
What went through your head at 2 minutes past midnight?
Help and get me out. It was hard. Sorry.
Do you want us to?
I was in the Christchurch ones and let's just put it all back.
Road. So the slips here are horrendous, to put a final point on it, and you've got to believe it's in the billions of dollars to resolve these issues.
New Zealand's civil defence declared a state of emergency for the South Island's Koikora region, centred on a tourist town about 150 kilometres northeast of Christchurch, soon after Monday's large aftershock. President-elect Donald Trump has vowed to move aggressively on a conservative agenda in filling Supreme Court vacancies, cracking down on immigration and cutting taxes. In his first television interview since his shock election with CBS's 60 Minutes, the 70-year-old also sought to reassure worried Americans they have nothing to fear from his presidency. Meanwhile, Australia's Prime Minister announced that the resettlement to the US of 1,200 asylum seekers held in detention camps on Papua New Guinea and the Pacific island of Nauru will begin after Trump's inauguration next January.
It's because we deal with one administration at a time. There's only one President of the United States at any time. Until January 20, when Donald Trump is inaugurated, the President is Barack Obama, and we deal with the one administration at a time.
The resettlement deal came after Turnbull's government agreed in September to accept people from Guatemala, Honduras and El Salvador as part of Australia's annual intake of 18,750 asylum seekers.
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Jackie Chan!
Kung Fu movie legend Jackie Chan finally received his Little Gold Statuette, an honorary Oscar for his decades of work in film at the annual Governors Awards on Saturday.
I'm breaking so many bones, making more than 250 movies. Not every movie is right, but every movie I make, I care about the world, I care about the children, I care about the environment, I care about everything. Now I got an honor today. That means all those years, what I'm thinking, what are the movie I make, I do the right things. Yeah.
Chan was presented the around by former Rush Hour co-star Chris Tucker. Perseverance is key, guys. That's all from us here at Cuppa News. Good night.